Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. David, we've been talking about the retirement tsunami.
Right.
That is coming, and
right.
the changeover of talent.
Right.
How is all of that going to interplay with the industry's adoption of technology and or its intransigence, either one?
Well, I think we have no choice. We've seen this coming. We've been talking about this for 20 years. Yes. We've been talking about this, right?
Right.
All that knowledge retiring, and I think it's really going to force us to adopt a lot of these new tools, right? These knowledge-based tools, automation, different ways of thinking about the agent force. At one point, we thought maybe, they're going to get disintermediated with these new technologies.
Right.
Well, that didn't happen. So we know we need our agents, right?
Exactly.
How do we make them smarter, better at dealing with what they're doing? And so, okay, maybe our agent force is going to be less than what we had hoped for,
right.
But through automation tools and AI and all these other tools, maybe we can make them a lot more efficient at what and attract that younger generation as well. So we do need to attract the younger generation, but I also think we've got to deal with a shrinking workforce, and we've got to capture that knowledge as it goes out the door. We've never been in a better place to have tools to do that, but carriers have to really plan for that. And I've seen a lot more talk than I've seen action on that part.
For sure. Yeah, that makes good sense. Last question for you, David. What is exciting you? And I'm glad to have a life person here, because so much of the P&C really dominates the show most of the time, right?
Yes, it does.
So tell me what's exciting you on the horizon from a life perspective that we should kind of be looking out for. Crystal ball that.
It again, I don't know if we're going to label this sexy, right?
Let's label it.
So we have been locked up in these older platforms. We have got probably $1 trillion or more in assets in these old platforms, some of them that are still around for the 1960s, because we can't figure out an ROI to convert them. I've never seen a better opportunity and more excitement around using some modern tools like AI and all that, not to automatically convert, but just to get that data discovered, get it to a point where we can put it into new platforms. I think we're on this cusp of figuring out how to retire some of this technical debt and accelerate and provide a proper AI or ROI, to this whole process.
Let me make sure, that's a really important point. Let me just make sure that I caught that right. So the way I interpreted your statement, we've always had a data issue, has always been the major block around modernization, migration, et cetera. You're saying that with the technologies, AI, data technologies, all of that, we are on the cusp of being able to solve that problem.
Put a huge dent in it. Absolutely. Everybody has dirty data. Everybody has issues with it. The tools out there, there's still human in the loop. There's still some work, but imagine a tool that can find that data, summarize it, show you all where all those issues are, collate it, learn from multiple patterns of data and say, well, I think this is what you meant. Is this what you meant? And think of a team of 30, 40 people trying to do that, and think of a tool that can bring that to light in a matter of minutes, right? Yeah. There's still hard work involved. I'm not saying it's magic, but I've never seen better tools for solving these problems than exist.
David, thanks so much for your time.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.